Coming into the ethics, while we are learning the ethics and integrity, the first question coming to the mind is that if imagine a person is unethical person, the person feels that if I become an officer, I will definitely earn a lot of money through corruption. That person's mindset itself, inside him, there is unethics. Is it possible to evaluate the person's unethical behavior by taking an examination? He might be writing, if a question comes, and what are the major reasons for corruption and how to eradicate the corruption, he might write a wonderful answer. And if a question comes that, if a case study is given, in that situation, there is a situation of corruption has been created, how you will deal with this situation, he might deal very well in the answer, but he might deal in a different way when the situation comes in the real life. Might happen. Then is it possible to evaluate whether a person has ethics or not only by looking into the answer? That is why the intention of this paper is not to see whether you have ethics or not. Before you are entering the service, teaching you some ethics. Imagine I am an unethical person. Sometimes by learning the ethics, I might change my mind. And hence, it is a part of this paper's intention is to create a system of study for the public servants. Public servant should have a course on what is ethics in his personal life. Coming to the structure of the paper, see, all other papers we have discussed GS1 up to GS5, and except GS4 ethics paper, every paper will have 20 questions total, 10 questions of 10 marks, 10 questions of 15 marks, and 10 marks question you need to answer in 150 words, 15 marks question in 250 words. But in ethics paper, there is a small difference. There will be 13 questions for 10 marks. The first 13 questions will be related to theory. For example, what are the different theoretical or philosophical perspectives of ethics in international relations? In international relations, sometimes whether we are preferring more ethics or the national interest. National interest, Taliban came in Afghanistan. Are we maintaining, India is maintaining a good relationship with Taliban? Yes, we are maintaining a good relationship with Taliban. Do you feel that Taliban is an administration based on ethics? No, but still for us, Afghanistan is a gateway of India into Central Asia. We have already invested too much money in Afghanistan, in rebuilding Afghanistan. By destroying the relationship based on ethics, will have a negative economic impact. Our plan was importing uranium from Kazakhstan and other Central Asian countries through Afghanistan. Without touching Pakistan, we can import the uranium. Pakistan will never allow India importing uranium from Central Asia through the soil of Pakistan, because uranium is a nuclear fuel. Hence, Afghanistan is important for our connectivity to the Central Asia. Hence, whoever sometimes comes in power in Afghanistan, we should keep our national interest higher. We are sometimes following the theory of realism more than the theory of ethics in international relations. My point is that if a question comes, what are the different philosophies of international ethics or ethics in international relations? That is an example of a question on theory. Another thing is there is a concept called as ethical dilemma. Sometimes you might have studied in the previous class. Ethical dilemma, I have a dilemma. What is ethics? Then how I should take a decision? What are the conditions or the terms and conditions I should take care while taking a decision on ethical dilemma? Question might come, what does it mean by an ethical dilemma? What are the solutions for ethical dilemma for a public servant? That theory, we have to learn definition of ethical dilemma, situations in which ethical dilemma might arise, and again, how we have to reach into a solution or conclusion when an ethical dilemma arises in our public life. These are the examples of the theoretical questions. But the remaining 6 questions, see that by writing answer for 10 questions, you will get only 130 marks. The last 6 questions, each question carries 20 marks and you will get 120 marks. These questions will be case study. You will be given a situation or an example how you will take the decision in this situation. That when we learn the theory, you will be in a position to take a decision on this matter. For example, one case study example, I can give you this last year APSC question. UPSC also used to ask such questions. Online students also, you can see that what decision you will take. Suppose there is a flute. One flute is a musical instrument, and 3 children are also there. Child 1 is claiming that I have worked hard to make the flute, so I should get it. Child 2 tells that I can play the flute very well, so I should get it. Only I can make the complete use of that. The other person who made it, he does not know how to play. I know how to play that, then I should be given that. Child 3 tells both children are rich. I am poor, so I should get the flute. Others have other means of enjoying the life. I want some enjoyment. I'm a poor fellow, don't have money. I should get it. Question is that whom you should give. Here multiple things are there. Being a public servant, you should have the empathy and compassion should be there inside you towards the poor people. Being a public servant, you should take care of the perfectionism also, who will use it in a perfect way. Being a public servant, you cannot ignore the person who made it also. Then all of you write it down, whether you will give the child 1 or child 2 or child 3. Online students, please type in the Q&A or in the comment, you can type that, whether my sound is echoing. Maybe because of the extra mic, the students are here because of, I think, the Labor Day, I can use without the mic. And you tell me that all of you write it down, who will get it, and your reason also, who should get it. Online students are telling multiple answer, Manoj Kumar Das, and anyway, only one answer will be for a, you have to write the answer from a sitting as a bureaucrat. You are a deputy commissioner or a officer of the child welfare. 3 children are coming in front of you and telling that this flute, I made it, I should get it. And the flute is on your table. Other person is telling that I can play that in a perfect way, I should get it. And the third person is telling I am poor, I should get it. You should show the sympathy and empathy and compassion towards me, I should get it. If you are sitting as an officer, tell me whom you will give. All of you please comment. And Manoj Kumar Das and Monstecu Dole, Pelican, Umar Farooq, and anyway, multiple people are giving multiple students. Nobody is giving the poor person. What happened? And child who can play. Yes. How many of you want to give the child 1? How many of you will give the child 1? How many of you give the child 2? How many of you will give the poor person? Even the poor people are not ready to give the poor person. Then who will give the poor person? Here 3 things are there. Let me just change the example. Imagine you are a very rich person originally from a remote village in Assam. You are a very rich person coming from a remote village in Assam. You are presently settled in Dibrugarh city. In your village, you have 2 houses, but those 2 houses are kept empty. There is nobody to stay. You settled down in Dibrugarh. Still, you have 2 ancestral homes in your house. You are telling that this is my home. I constructed this home, and telling the DC, please give me this my home. I should get it. Another person is telling that I will be only able to stay in this home. I am from this village only. I am his neighbor. I will be able to stay in this home. In my home, lot of people are there, overcrowded. And please give me that home. I can use it perfectly. Because this person who is the owner of the house is unable to use it because he is settled in another city and laying empty. The house is kept empty without any use for last 10 years. One of your neighbor, the person who is residing just near the house tells, I have a house, but still my house is over. I have 10 children, 5 of my children I can shift into this house. Please give me, I can use it. Another person comes and tells that I am very poor. DC, I don't have any house. I'm sleeping on the roadside and this house is kept empty. Please give me that. Other two people have, rich people only, they have their own house at least. Tell me, will you give the person who can use it? Will you give the poor person or will you give the real owner? Owner. Same thing is there. Being a civil servant, your decision is that what the law tells. First one is law. The law of India tells that right to property is for the person who is the real owner, or he manufactured that, he constructed that. I took a piece of bamboo, I made my own flute. How you have the legal authority to take the flute from me and give him and telling that he can play well? And how you can take it from me and give to another person telling he is poor, I am rich? Now here the solution is that I should give the, in my opinion, in my ethics, I should give, or not my ethics, the lexicon ethics also. Law is the first priority of an administrative officer or a civil servant. After law, only empathy, perfectionism, everything comes after the law. I should give the first child. Second child, what I should tell him? You have money, you purchase from him, from the first person if you want. Then second person can pay the money and purchase it from the first person and use it. Third person, poor fellow, you apply for a government scheme. Through a government scheme, I will give you a flute. Yes or not? And is it the right way that you are a poor person telling that I am taking another person's flute and giving you is not the solution? You should make a solution for all the three children. You can tell the first person, this is your right to property I'm respecting. It is a legal constitutional right for you. You take it. Second person, you can, being a diplomatic administrator, you can give an advice that you have money. You pay some money to him and purchase it and use it if you want. Third person, you are poor fellow, I can understand. You apply through any government scheme, I will give you another flute free from my office or from the government scheme. Is it the real solution or not? One that in our decision making, empathy, compassion should not overtake the law. We have the reservation. Reservation is a part of compassion and empathy and social empowerment, but that is within the limitations of the law. Second thing, even perfectionism should not overtake the law. Another person is perfect, but law tells that he should not be given that and he should not be given that. The holy text or the highest priority we have to give when we are taking a decision is to the Constitution of India, and the law of the nation is the most important guide for you when you are sitting on the official chair. Then every time when the question comes every time when the question comes, you have to take care first the law, then other things we can take care of. If some situation comes that legally it can be given to anybody, it is a government scheme. Government has a flute. 3 children applied for that. Then whom you have to give? 2 or 3? Why not 2? If the 3 is unable to play, then whom you should give? 2. You have to test first that between the 2 and 3, who is the best person who can use it. If the 3 can at least somehow use it, and government scheme tells that the poor people have to be given preference, then you have to give him. Sometimes government will give, sometimes in the sports and in the music, government will prefer the people who are rich. Yes or not? Somebody who is getting a gold medal and in Olympics or a bronze medal in Olympics, government does not look whether he is or she is coming from a poor family or rich family, offers 1 crore rupees. Yes or not? And that is why that situation you have to see that this instrument giving to the poor person, he will keep in his kitchen as a, while cooking the food, sometimes his mother take it and cook the food using the flute. That is useless. The second person sometimes might use it perfectly, then it should be given to that person. According to each and every situation, first you have to take into the law. Second thing should be the perfectionism. Third, if it is deserving, you should give to the poor person. And who according to you should be get it? What are the ethical issues in this matter? What role does the justice play in this situation? Then what is justice in this situation? Justice is the whoever right to property is the first justice. Remaining things are coming later. Justice for the second person should be he can purchase it. Justice for the third person can be he can apply for a government scheme and get it. What are the ethical issues in this matter? There is an ethical dilemma in this matter. What is ethical dilemma and all other matters we will discuss in class. Now, before moving into the next one, I have asked the online students to download to make a printout of the ethics material. I will take the class based on the material, and it will be more easy for you discussing with the examples. And online students, I hope that you must have taken the printout. Otherwise, you can depend on the WhatsApp soft copy. And this is offline students I will distribute. This is the last class current affairs. Ethics I will give you after this. Yeah. Yeah. Then first one, our discussion is on the ethics in public administration. Coming into ethics in public administration, in the modern era, it is very important to have the ethics in public administration because it is the era of transparency. Earlier, if a person is going to give the corruption, anytime he can use the hidden camera sometimes. And another thing is that people might go in Facebook Live or the conversation. That is why this is in the digital era, public administration has taken different measures to be ethical, or it is forced to be ethical. All the officers and all the bureaucrats have the fear of going unethical in this situation. Basically, what is administration? Administration, as you know, sociologists have told that it is the iron frame of the government, or the steel frame of the government. Some sociologists have told that public administration or bureaucrats are the parrots caged inside an iron cage. You cannot fly beyond a limitation. Whatever the limitations of the law, sometimes you might not like something, you have to do. In Assam, huge protest was there against the Citizenship Amendment Act. Imagine you are an administrator. Sometimes you might be supporting CAA, you might be opposing CAA. You became a police officer. People are protesting against CAA. Sometimes you are also internally supporting the protesters, but still you will have to do the lathi charge. That is the meaning of that. Bureaucracy is a parrot caged inside an iron cage. You cannot take decision based on your own inner concern. Sometimes you have to behave as per the law of the nation. Second thing, the administrative branch of the bureaucracy or the administration is the executive branch of the government, which is mainly the bureaucracy. Administration is cooperative human effort towards achieving the common goals. Cooperative human effort. You should also make a cooperation with the citizens. Citizens also should cooperate with you, and we should work for the common good. An administrator, sometimes during a religious festival, there is a huge crowd in the middle of the road. An administrator will have to evacuate that crowd because sometimes it might be a road leading into the Assam Medical College or any other hospital. Creating a traffic jam in the name of the religion, there the administration has to give an order. You should not create the traffic jam. You should walk as a line on the side of the road, and there should be cooperation from the people as well. Then administration is a cooperative human effort towards achieving the common good. Next one, coming into ethics and accountability. First, we can discuss the ethics in governance. Before coming into the bureaucracy and administration, the first part, ethics should be there in the governance. And definitely, there should be, if we want to have an ethical governance, there should be a mutual cooperation and understanding between the citizens and the civil servants. One thing is the civil servants also should understand, I have to serve the people. And another part, recently I visited the office and I went there and the person was, normally when I am going for a official work, I behave in a bold way. When I went there, I was talking and telling good morning and whether my work is done. And the officer told me that you please be seated. I will check that. He gave me a chair. I was sitting there. When I was sitting there, one person came. He was with a torn jeans and a modern guy, and his hair was this way. Looks like a poor person, not a standard person. He told that I have given before Bihu and this application. Can I know what is the status? The time was almost 12. Then the officer told him that you come tomorrow, come at sharp 10. By this time, the work will not be done. He told in Assamese. But I also went by 12 only. He was behaving with me in a very good way, and he gave me whatever document I was supposed to take from the office. He gave me the document on time. When another person came with a different dress code, sometimes we are judging the people by looking into their appearance. Our hair still has an importance if you want to get the respect. Our dressing has an importance if you want to get the respect. Our way of talking has an importance if you want to get the respect. But what the nation's law tells that the same officer should cooperate with me. And in the same manner, he should cooperate with any poor person coming in front of him as well. While sitting in the chair, you should not look into the face of the person. Whether he's looking handsome like me, or whether he's not looking handsome, you should not take care. Whether he's looking rich or he's looking poor should not be a judging factor. Your judging factor should be that the application he submitted is in conformity with the law or not. If it is in conformity with the law, accept it. If it is not in conformity with the law, in contradiction with the law, reject it. That is the ethics. And governing process must be just, reasonable, and citizen friendly. Whatever I told, whatever experience I got, that is citizen friendly. Whatever experience he got was the citizen unfriendly. Then the process should be just. Just means whatever is in justice. No discrimination is the meaning of the justice. The basic equality and no discrimination. One person is feeling that I am discriminated, other person is privileged, that is injustice. Reasonable. If he's accepting, any person is accepting my application, there should be a reason behind that. Rejecting another person's application, there should be a valid reason behind that. That is called as reasonable. And administration must be responsive and promote the participation of the people in decision making. Sometimes administration must be responsive, responding to the demands of the people. Imagine in Dibrugarh or in any city, there is huge pollution, or there is any other social crisis, or there is a large number of crimes are happening at night. Then administration should be responding to that requirement of the people. If there is a huge pollution, sometimes in 1991-92, in Surat city, the municipality was throwing the solid waste on the roadside. Huge pollution was there. Large number of people complained to the municipality, did not take any action. Finally, a widespread plague happened in Surat city in India. Almost all the international countries stopped the flight for India in 1991 Surat plague. And the doctors and medical experts found that the plague happened because of the solid waste in the public places. Then if there is a problem, administration should be responding to that particular problem, and administration should be understanding the problem of the people. Another thing, sometimes if there is a problem for which administration can solve it by the participation of the people, there should be a platform to bring the people into the discussion, can call the representatives of the people into discussion, can take their opinion, then there should be participation of the common people on decision making. Then decision making will be more transparent and more effective. And presently in India, that we will agree that there is a big gap between the people and the administration. Yes, and till tomorrow, until you are qualifying the APSC mains and interview, you will be a common person. After that, you will be unapproachable for the people. Normally happens or not? Normally happen. There is an alienation that is called as, in the ethical concept, it is called as, the term used for that, there is an alienation between the people and the administration. A person sometimes sitting on a chair in the government office, sometimes the chair will not have much quality chair. It will be a low quality wooden chair. But still, sitting there, he feels that I am the master of the people. But what is the name given to us? Indian civil servant, whom we call as a servant. And the Assam civil servants, ACS is Assam Civil Service. But the realization, understanding that I am a servant, my duty is to serve the people and bring the development among the people, sometimes the Indian bureaucracy forgets. This habit we got from the legacy of the British administration. The British Viceroy and the British East India Company officers, they were calling themselves as the sir. The term sir is also sometimes, still we are using, going to the office in a democratic country like India, and a person who is sitting in the office, even if it's a small person, we used to call, he will be very happy if I'm telling that, going, good morning, sir. Yes. And that is a, even the people who introduced that in India were the British. And in British culture, you cannot see any person going to an office calling the other person sitting there as a sir. He will tell that, Mr. this particular person, please solve my problem. This is my application, please take it. But here, if you don't call the person as a sir, he will delay your work for 3 days and for not calling. Second thing is that if you don't pay the money, he will delay for 1 month. Hence, it should be realized that in a democracy, the service is the right of the people and it is your responsibility towards the people. And presently, there is a great deal. Now you understood that by learning ethics also, sometimes an unethical person might turn to be ethical. Yes, this is the importance of including ethics as a paper in civil services examination. We should learn the ethics and understand the ethics. Another thing in ethics, all the answers we should support with an example. Sometimes take a traffic police as an example, and sometimes you can take any other office as an example. Sometimes you can take the corruption as an example, or any recent incident which you have seen in the news, you can take it as an example. Then ethics paper could be each argument you are making. If you are making a subheading, then alienation between the people and the administration. You can take any one imaginary example also you can take. Because the main example of alienation is that, imagine you are driving a scooty or driving a vehicle. When you see the traffic police, some internal fear goes inside or not? Yes or not? And when you see the police, you should feel happy only. I am safe and protected. Nobody will attack me and police is surrounding me. But for us, automatically the scooty speed increases when you see the traffic police, and that might create another accident. And imagine if you don't have a helmet, when you see the traffic police, the complete fear will be there. You will not be able to control your hands. Sometimes my 500 is gone. And duty of police is not to create the fear inside the citizens. The duty of the police is to give the safety and protection feeling among the people. It's the best example of an alienation between the Indian citizens and Indian bureaucracy. When you are going to the office, are you feeling some tension? If you want to do a work, when you enter the office, you feel a headache only. What nonsense this person will tell now. He will tell your application is not full and this photo is unacceptable, and you give another soft copy and another photo stat, etc. Otherwise, another tension might come that the money I am paying, he will be happy or unhappy. 2,000 is enough or not, or 5,000 I should pay. The confusion is there. You cannot ask that also. And that means that there is a big alienation, huge alienation between the Indian bureaucracy and the Indian people. A democracy will be, if we can be proud of our democracy, only when each and every citizen of India has the confidence in public offices. As long as we don't have the confidence in the public offices, we are not a true democracy. Coming into the next one. Presently, and there is a great deal of alienation between the people and the public servants. This undermines legitimacy, effectiveness, and credibility of public administration. When you enter, you solve it. Your office should be a friendly office for the people, especially when an old person comes. You should give a chair. Sometimes in our public office, there is a habit that there will be no chair for the people who are visiting, and they have to stand up and tell other person is sitting like on a big chair and with a table like this and that, and he will be behaving in a, that seating arrangement itself creates a behavior. There should be, government can put some 2-3 chairs and in front of the person, let the people coming sit down, because they are the citizens. We have a constitution that starts with the people of India having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. If you want to realize that we, the people, should be the more powerful. When you become an ACS officer or an IAS officer tomorrow, you should also think that, including me, we, the 1.4 billion people of India or the citizens of India, are equally powerful and have the equal right to any public office. Now, but there are vast areas of administrative activity which some situation might come sometimes. In the public administration, you had a situation there is no law supporting you. You are confused what to do. I don't know exactly, there is no clear-cut law what decision I should take in this particular situation, because we cannot tell that each and every incident in the public administrator's life will be supported by a law. In that situation, what the administrator has to do is that administrator has to use his conscience. At least in the decision making, you should have a concern that this decision, at least I'm not harming anybody. If the decision has that quality, you can take it. And this is called as, in such a situation, when you are going into the administration, you will have an ethical infrastructure will be there. In the ethical infrastructure, first priority will be given to the law. If the law is silent on a matter, you can use the conscience and the sense of duty towards the social welfare should be guiding you. Next one, ethics in public administration. First one, we can discuss what is the public administration. Yeah. Which one? Ethics infrastructure. That is, I told that when you enter the public administration, you will have a standard operation procedure you might have heard of. If such a issue happens, step by step, these are the analysis you have to do and take a decision. That is a part of the ethical infrastructure, because this SOP, standard operation procedure, if you follow, you will never miss the ethics, you will be following the ethics. Second thing is that when you are taking a decision, the first part is that you have to see whether the law is there supporting my decision. If the law is not there or you are unaware of the law, what is the law tells, you don't know. In that situation, you have to ask your inner conscience, whatever I am doing is true or false, one thing. Second thing is that whatever I am doing, whether I am giving any harm to any person, whatever decision I am taking, whether it harms me or my colleagues in the office, whether it is harming any public and any citizen in the public. If it is harming also, any decision, sometimes it will be this way. Any decision you take, both have negative impacts. Then you have to judge where the negative impacts are less. Accordingly, taking a decision is called as the ethical infrastructure. We should have a clear, that will be given as a code of ethics. When you are entering the service, in the training, there will be a code of ethics training that is called as ethical infrastructure for your decision making. Now, how we can differentiate and understand what is a public administration? Public administration means it's the executive branch of government. They execute the law. Legislative parties making the law, Parliament of India, State Legislative Assembly. Executive part, you are supposed to execute it. For example, Citizenship Amendment Act has been passed. you became an ACS officer, you became an ADC, or you became a deputy commissioner in any district. 10 applications came. They want to get the citizenship under the CAA. Inside you, sometimes you might be opposing CAA, but still you should give the citizenship for the people. You are the executive. Your duty is to execute whatever is passed in the law. Your duty there is not to execute whatever your mind tells. If they have fulfilled all the qualifications, you must give them citizenship. Otherwise, you are violating the law. It is related to activities of the state. Public administration means that whatever is related to the government, it carries out public policy. If a government has a policy, implementing that policy and executing that policy is the public administration. Public administration is politically neutral. Presently, BJP might be ruling, you might be supporting Congress, but you cannot see that it is against my political ideology. I will not implement a decision or a policy of this government. You cannot tell. You should be, being a public administrator, you should be politically neutral. That is in India. There is a rule. A public administrator cannot take membership in any political party. If you are taking the membership in any political party, you will lose your public administration. You have to resign from the service. Next one, it realizes the aspirations of the people as formulated and expressed in the law. Every law is the aspirations of the majority people. Citizenship Amendment Act in 2019 election, BJP in their manifesto has clearly mentioned that if we are elected into power, we will bring the Citizenship Amendment Act. By telling the people that we will execute the Citizenship Amendment Act, we will pass the Citizenship Amendment Act, they got the mandate of the people to rule the nation. That means law is, although it is passed by the representatives of the people, law is indirectly the manifestation of the majority people. Then public administrators' duty is to realize the aspirations of the people as formulated and expressed in the law. It is a dedication for the well-being of the people. Now, in the material, there is a small error. You can see the second, ethics in public administration. You can see the second sentence, following are the code of ethics for public administration as prepared by the American Society of Public Administration. Because that sentence went above. Now this public as ASPA, you can see here, American Society of Public Administration has made the code of ethics. As somebody asked earlier, what is the ethical infrastructure? And in the ethical infrastructure is following the code of ethics in public administration. The American Society, why we are taking the American Society of Public Administration's data details? In India, this topic is a recent origin. Ethics in public administration was not a concern in India. UPSC also introduced in 2013. Even in our selected public administrators course or the training course, there was no course on ethics. At the same time, the Western countries, US, UK, and they have a well-designed course on ethics for the public administrators. A public administrator, only after attending this course on ethics, he will be appointed. The demerit we can see in India earlier, because now after the new generation, youngsters are coming into the public administration and becoming the deputy. The new generation people, you can see that corruption is comparatively less. In Assam, every day, the social media pages, some news comes that this person arrested, the district transport commissioner, DTO arrested for 50,000 corruption from a person, another person arrested. Most of the people arrested, you can see that they are the youngsters or the elders. Mostly some 40, 50, because their training and era was that way. The new generation people are comparatively, and don't give a defamation case against me. The old people will give a defamation case. I never told that all old people. Most of the people who are corrupt and arrested, you can see recently I saw the photo of a person and two officers were holding his hands this way and he was posing the photo like a hero, only coming with a gold medal, and The photo was kept in the toilet because he was hiding the money in the toilet. The officers took out the money, and the two persons were holding the hands. He was in an inner dress only, and he was posing for the photo, and the photo came in the social media and other things. Mostly you can see that a little bit that 1990s bureaucratic generation is comparatively more into corruption because they had no training on ethics and anti-corruption. But presently in Mussoorie training and or the Assam civil service staff, Assam administrative staff college training, and we have importance on the ethics. Even before you prepare for the mains examination, you are getting the lessons on ethics. Next one, then as per the American Society of the Public Administration, the code of ethics should place public interest above private interest. Everybody has a private interest to be rich, yes or not? How many of you want to be rich? Nobody wants. And after listening to the ethics class, and don't think that I want to be a poor fellow, you should never do corruption, but you should earn the money in a legal way. Everybody has a private interest, that is, I want to be rich, but you should place your private interest below the public interest. A person coming for civil services examination want to be a bureaucrat. For him, the nation should be first. There should be uncompromisable, unquestionable love for the nation. Love for the nation does not mean that you are only shouting some slogan. The love for the nation means that you want to see India as a developed country. You want to be a part of eradicating the poverty in India. You want to be a part of building the nation by imparting education for the new generation children. Even if they are poor or rich, you should ensure that I want to give education for all. I want to give the nutrition for all. And I want to see an India which is developed, the people who are not poor and they are developed. Should oppose all forms of discrimination and harassment and promote affirmative action. There should be, and he should, because if a person is one of the big important code of a public administration is that his voice should rise for the poor people and for the weaker section. Now, the Indian boxers, they are protesting in Jantar Mantar and demanding that action should be taken against the alleged person for making some misbehavior with them. Then a public administration, police, Delhi police, they charged the case only after Supreme Court of India has asked them, you must file the FIR. The people who are sitting in the Delhi police, whether they should stand up with a powerful politician or they should stand up with the weak women. Weak women, and that is what the public administration is required to do. Standing up with the powerful, everybody can do, but standing up with the weaker section or the weaker part of the people and who are in a conflict, that is the real duty of a public servant. Then should oppose all forms of discrimination and harassment and promote affirmative action. No discrimination, whether it is in the name of gender, it is the name of the caste. Our mind should be against discrimination. Patriarchy should not be there in the mind of a public servant. I am a male, very powerful. Other person is a female. I will not respect the female. And that is patriarchy should not be there. Casteism should not be there. A public servant should never believe that I am upper, other person is lower. And everybody is equal. There should be no class in the mind of a public servant. That is, I am a rich family, coming from a rich family, other person is coming from a poor family. There should be even no religion in the public administration. I belong to this religion, the other person in front of me belongs to another religion, should not be there. Should recognize the right of the public to know the public business. Public business is not a secret thing. Whatever happens inside a government office, every Indian citizen should have the right to know. Right to Information Act of 2005. And it's the best example of implementing this ethics in public administration. Should involve citizens in policy making. When you are, nowadays you can see that when national education policy was being framed, government made an initial draft of national education policy and asked the citizens of India to respond. Do you have any suggestion, or do you want to make any amendment? Thousands of suggestions came from the citizens of the nation. Based on those suggestions, government redrafted the national education policy. Hence, sometimes people might have more talent than you. It is not that whatever I do is correct. There is a negative attitude in the public administration. Whatever I feel, or I am going to take as a decision might be correct, but there might be some more correct decision. You can take the input from the people of the nation or the citizens of that area for improving that. And next one, should involve citizens, respect the constitution of the country and law of nation. No need to explain. If a person is not respecting the constitution and the law of the nation, is never suitable to be a public administrator, and must perform duties honestly and should not compromise them for personal advancement and honor or personal gain. You are feeling that you are a judge. If I make a judgment against a person or in favor of a person, I might get the promotion. Otherwise, and I might be not getting promotion. Whether for my personal advancement, should I compromise the justice? No. In the public administration, whatever is your position, whether you are a administrator or a bureaucrat or a judge, whether you are a police officer, law and order situation managing person, I should never compromise the law of the nation for anything, including my personal gain. A criminal offense happened. Even if my son is involved in that, I should take the real course of action or the course of the law. Whatever law tells should be my first priority. My personal interest, my love, sympathy, affection, that should not overtake the law of the nation, being a public servant, and should make effort to strengthen organizational capabilities to apply the ethics, efficiency and effectiveness in serving the public. If I'm a leader, I'm a SP, then I know that in my district, large number of traffic police officers under my jurisdiction are corrupt. Day by day, I'm getting complaint of corruption. I should not have the fear that if I take strict action against corruption, they might protest against me. Then I'm not a leader. If I have that fear, I should be able to sometimes, instead of taking strict action, initially giving a lecture for them and creating awareness on ethics against corruption inside them. Second time, giving a warning in a diplomatic way. Third time, taking the action. That will be the suitable way. Coming one day and telling that I'm going to arrest all the police officers who are corrupt, then the system will collapse. In whatever is the suitable decision, I should be able to make it, and for making the system effective and efficient for serving the people, should strive for professional excellence by performing the duty. I should go sometimes for some training. I should send my people, the people who are working under me, some modern training. And if in an office, still the office functions by writing all the documents and putting inside a red tab file, I should train the officers on how to use the computer, how to make it online, how to make the application online, and then improve the efficiency and improve the effectiveness of the public service should be that every time there should be a thirst to be more excellent in public service. Next one, status of ethics in public administration. In India, although recently we have started talking on ethics, we have started making course on ethics, but still, do you feel that Indian administration is fully ethical? No. And still there is corruption, still there is favoritism, and still there is crony, and still there is a tendency of asking the tendency of the red tapism, and still there is a cronyism. The people who are near to the officer, they will get the works done easily. Other people will not get their works done easily. Hence, in the public administration, even after we have introduced the course on ethics, and we have started the engagement with the ethics, still there are shortcomings. There is no uniform approach in developing a course of teaching ethics for public administration. One major problem of ethics is that what ethics we should follow. Whether we should follow some philosophical ethics. Mahatma Gandhi's philosophy has the ethics inside that. Philosophies of the different international political philosophers, in their philosophy also ethics is there. Whether we should follow the philosophical ethics or the classical ethics or the practical ethics. Classical ethics means that first one, if we are following the philosophical ethics, which philosophy we have to follow? Whose philosophy? In India, whether we should teach the Mahatma Gandhi's philosophy for the public administrators, or whether we should teach the philosophy of Buddha or philosophy of Mahavira, whose philosophy we should apply and for the public administration as a course, or we should go for the Western philosophers and Thoreau's philosophy or the Aristotle's philosophy or the Plato's philosophy. There is one confusion, especially in a country like India, because most of the ethical books are written by Western scholars and they have emphasized on the Western philosophers' ethics. In India, we should follow the same or we should develop a new course on that. John Droher and Terry Cooper are two scholars on the ethics and have the opinion that teaching ethics in the schools of public administration and should be based on classical or political ethics. Exactly, classical ethics is also sometimes dangerous. What does it mean by classical ethics is that if something is done by the ancestors, that is correct. In a country, everybody agrees to that, then it is correct. Sometimes in India, the classical ethics in a society like India will be sometimes having a dangerous impact. In India, do you feel that giving some 1,000 rupees corruption is okay for the people? Our ancestors used, my father also, when some officers are coming and for some survey, he's happy and he gives some 1,000 rupees, sometimes telling that you take your auto charge. And auto charge should be given by my father or by the government. He will take the auto charge from the government office also and taking from the, that means my father, grandfather feels that this is okay only, I'm helping the person, he did a work for me. Then classical ethics tells that if the society agrees it as an ethics, then it can continue. If society feels that is unethical, it cannot continue. If a person comes and he has a land survey of me, he's asking me that if your land has a problem, your land is exceeding into the public land, if you give me 2 lakh rupees, I will settle down this. Our society does not accept it. Society feels it is a corruption. At the same time, the person came, he did the survey, gave me the certificate. He asked that I came by auto, give me some 500 rupees for auto. Our public consent tells that is okay only, he came by auto, let me pay that money. This is also corruption. Other one is also corruption. But classical ethics tells that the first one is not corruption because the society accepts that. Second one, which is rejected by the society and the society feels it is corruption, that is unethical. Even if the first one is also corruption, but the society feels that this is something continuously done, traditionally done by our ancestors, we should also do that. Another one, then that means they reject the ethical principle that is termed as done things. Then classical ethics tells that some people are telling classical, because modern generation, we believe that classical ethics is not a ethics. Classical ethics tells that done things or everybody is doing that. That is a justification. It is something already done by our ancestors. Second thing, now also everybody does that. Whether it is legal or illegal, if something is accepted as common, everybody is doing that. For example, traffic police officer stopped you. He asked, where is your helmet? Then you told, I forgot it, sir. Then you told that 500 rupees. Then you are negotiating with him. Can we settle down in 200? Then he told that you pay the 200 in nearby pan shop, not to me. He will collect from there in the evening. That is, in India, the common man and common women tells that is good only. I saved some 300 rupees. Yes, we believe that I saved some 300 rupees. And we don't feel that he did a bad thing also, he did a good thing, helped me. Instead of taking the 500 rupees from me, he settled down with 200 rupees without any receipt. In classical ethics, if majority of Indians are believing this is something I can do, and this is something not unethical, ethical, that becomes ethical. But in reality, and again, in the reality, in the modern ethics, this is also unethical practice. Hence, the people who are believing that the classical ethics is outdated, they tell that we cannot justify an action on the method that these are done things, normally happening things, or everybody's doing it. It does not mean that whatever done by everyone might not be right. Whatever done by my father might be correct, might be wrong. I have to justify. The modern ethics tells us that we have to justify everything by the law. If it is legal, it is ethical. If it is illegal, it is unethical. This is the general principle of. And another one, according to Drucker. Drucker is the classical ethics ethist, and he's believing in classical ethics. He tells that the only ethics needed is all not knowingly do the harm. Don't do the harm knowingly into a person. For example, traffic police officer stopped you. He told that 500 rupees is the fine. I will give you the 500 rupees fine also. And again, you should give me the another 500. Otherwise, I will not leave you. You should pay the 500 rupees real fine. Another 500, you should give me the corruption. Then that is, I am an officer. I am harming another person. According to Drucker, if I am not harming, that is okay. He should pay 500 rupees. I'm helping him, telling that you pay only 100 rupees. I will settle down the matter. Then that is not unethical. But if I am harming the person or another person, he was going into the hospital. In India, there is a rule that you cannot drive on this national highway on above 90 km/h speed. I was taking a patient, an emergency patient, into the hospital. I was driving in 120 km/h speed. The traffic police officer stopped me there. He told me that I will not listen anything. The law tells above 90,000 rupees fine. Above 90 km/h, 1,000 rupees fine. He's harming me. He's harming the patient inside my vehicle as well. This is unethical. If he is, as long as a person is not harming another person, that is ethical. For example, I'm an officer. You are an old fellow. You have to get a pension, old age pension of 1,000 rupees. I'm telling that I will give you the 1,000 rupees pension, but you should give me 40% commission. I'm harming you, and you are not old. I'm telling that I'm harming the person. That is unethical. At the same time, you came to me and told me that I need this caste certificate. Normally, caste certificate, as per government law, takes that. It will take 1 week. You told me that tomorrow I have an interview. I need it immediately. I told that you give me 200 rupees. I will give you immediately. I'm not harming you. I'm helping you, but I'm doing something illegal. As per classical ethics, I am good. I'm okay. But as per Indian ethics, don't do that. And you don't tell that in the court, I'm following the classical ethics. Sajid sir told that by classical ethics, this is not correct. This is correction. Then coming into our discussion, that this is the general principle of ethics in natural law or in the classical law. Next one, determinants of ethics in public administration. What determines that are you ethical in public administration or not? Or what are the factors deciding what should be the ethics in public administration? One is the political construct. Our political system decides the ethics. We are a democracy. In a democracy, imagine today morning, I made a Facebook post. I made a Facebook post criticizing the head of the government. There is no issue. That is not unethical in India. At the same time, if I am in North Korea, waking up early morning, I made a post against the president of North Korea. Not only unethical, I will lose my head only. Yes, that political construct sometimes decides what is ethics and what is unethics. In India, whatever is ethical sometimes might be unethical outside. Whatever is unethical in India might be ethical outside also. Can you kill a deer and make the deer biryani or deer curry in India? Not possible. In Kerala, there is a vlogger, and sometimes he goes to Dubai. And because he wants to cut a deer and make a deer biryani, he goes to Dubai and do that. In the beginning of the video, he shows that, and this is illegal in India. I am doing from Dubai. Otherwise, the police will come and he comes here. That will be, and recently he was in controversy also. He made a post that tomorrow I am going to make a peacock biryani. And he purchased the peacock also. He was showing the peacock, and he told that I'm doing in Dubai. In Dubai, it is legal. Then all the people started protesting in his YouTube video, under the YouTube video, and you are insulting the national honor. The peacock is the national bird of India. And after cutting the peacock and making biryani, you come to India, we'll show you. And finally, and in my opinion, he had an intention. And next day he made a video. He told me that I was checking how much emotional Indians are against the peacock. I understood that all of us are emotional. I'm not going to cut it. I was making a testing only whether how Indians will react. I wanted to see. In my opinion, he really wanted to do, but when the reaction was very severe, he dropped the plan. Recently, I saw his video. He went to Thailand and he made this one, gharial, crocodile, and he cut there is a commercial crocodile and farm in Thailand. He purchased one crocodile from there. He was cutting and making the food, and he was showing eating also. I was feeling bad that eating a crocodile. My point is, what is ethical here, what is unethical here, sometimes going into the political construct and the political structure in a country sometimes decides what is ethics or what is unethics. Whatever Salman Khan is in crisis, if he was doing somewhere outside, he might not have been in crisis. Then it depends on the political situation and political construct, the legal framework, whatever is same examples you can take, whatever is the law of the nation, that is also important. The administrative and administrators and public employees. Ethics and unethics sometimes depends on the nature of the people. Yes, sometimes if you are going into Dubai and the traffic police came, you are paying him 100 dirhams fine, what will happen? He himself will arrest you for the corruption. And the reason is that the police in that particular country is 100% corruption free. Why? The police officers, their salary starts from, if he's a citizen of the country, his salary starts from 6 lakh, 7 lakh rupees monthly. Does not need to be corrupt, and the 100 dirhams he's getting as a corruption will be nothing for him. At the same time, in a country like India, if you are giving 100 rupees to a traffic police officer, he will be happy also. And he will respect you. Sometimes we give better 100 rupees, thank you. It depends on the nature of the people of the country as well, the administrators and public employees, the citizens and the users of public services and their participation in the administration. It depends on us also. Who are we? Sometimes we are also happy when the work is done for 100 rupees or 200 rupees by giving corruption. The thought process of the people is also very important. Personally, I don't want to be corrupt. Sometimes law makes us corrupt also. And you also don't want to be corruption. But some situations will be there where the corruption sometimes is forced to be corruption. When I was a student long back, sometimes you might have traveled in the train without ticket. I was not traveling without ticket. When I was a student long back, I booked a ticket. I came into Dibrugarh, it was in Dibrugarh only. I came into Dibrugarh in Rajdhani. I was going back from Dibrugarh to Delhi. And that time, there is in Dibrugarh, 2 railway stations are there. One is the Banipur station, another one is the Dibrugarh town station. When I came here, the Rajdhani came to Dibrugarh town station. I came for a 10 days program, workshop program. That was my first journey to Assam, first journey to Dibrugarh, and first journey to Northeast India as well. I came here, one person came and picked up me from the railway station. He dropped me in a hotel nearby. I went for the 10 days program. When the 10 days program finished, the same person, he gave me the ticket to go back to Delhi. When I got the ticket had written that when I was coming, my stations was written Dibrugarh town. When I had to go back, the ticket was written that Dibrugarh up to New Delhi, not town was missing. I had a confusion whether the same railway station or not. I asked the person that which railway station I need to go back. Will you drop me in the railway station? Then he told me a little bit busy. You can do one thing. You can go back to the same railway station where I picked you, and there the train will be, Rajdhani will be there. You can go back. Still, I had a doubt why in one ticket railway has written Dibrugarh town, another ticket railway has written Dibrugarh only. I asked the hotel manager which station is this one, and I showed the ticket. He told me the station you can see from here. The station was visible from the hotel. Okay, then I got the, again, there was a chief coordinator of the program. I called him and asked him, he was in Guwahati. I asked him my confusion. I got the ticket this way, which station I have to go. Then he told me, let me make an inquiry. After 10 minutes, he called me and he told me in Dibrugarh, there is only one station. You can go to the same railway station where you came. That time, this Banipur station was just inaugurated. They were not aware of a new station and the new station's name as well. People used to call us Banipur station, not as Dibrugarh station. I went to the Dibrugarh town station. My train was at 7:30. I went 1 hour before because I want to confirm that it is the same station I have to go. When I went there, when Rajdhani was there, I entered the Rajdhani. Rajdhani, they show the train number and other things as a glow sign that will start glowing up some 15 minutes, half an hour before the journey. The glow was not there. As I confirmed with 3 people, I entered the train. I was sitting in my seat. By 7:30 also train was not moving. And I thought Indian Railway only, very late every time. By 7:45 also train was not moving. By 7:45, 7:50, one more person came and he started fighting with me. This is my seat. I told it's my seat only. Then finally I showed him my ticket. He showed me my ticket. When he saw my ticket, he told me that this is another Rajdhani going from another station. That train might have left by 7:30 only. Then I was entering a wrong train. I called the manager who has given me ticket. He told me that I will make a solution. He came and he picked up me on his scooty. He took me into the full Bagan. There the buses were going. He asked one bus person, many bus drivers, he asked that by what time you will reach Guwahati. Guwahati, the train was supposed to reach by 5:55 in the morning. Most of the bus drivers rejected that we will not reach before that. One person told that I will reach by 4 only. I will make him reach to the railway station. I entered the train. He gave me a seat. That's one seat near to him only. It was not, the other seats were full. And taking the money, he gave me a small seat. I was sitting there the whole night. When it was 4:30, I asked him that how much time it will take to Guwahati. He told me minimum 2 hours. Then I asked that you told me that you will make me reach by 4. That is why I entered the train. I have a train to catch from Guwahati. And he got angry. I'm not flying on the sky. I'm driving on the road only. Then finally, by 6, my bus reached Guwahati. 5:55 was the time of the train in Guwahati. Then one person, the chief coordinator, he came with the car and he picked up me and he dropped me in the railway station. By 6:30 from Khanapara, I reached the railway station. I was happy the train was just arriving. Indian Railway becomes late. Sometimes it's good. I entered the train. When I entered the train, I was sitting in my seat. The person who distributes the blanket, he came. He asked me that, where did you board the train? I told him just now in Guwahati. And he told that it's illegal. And your ticket will be automatically cancelled after 2 stations of your boarding the train. And I told, let me talk to the TTE and I will make him understand my situation. And he told me TTE will not understand without money. He told this way, 5,000 rupees is the fine for entering the train after your ticket is automatically cancelled. TTE will settle down in 2,000 rupees. He will take 2,000 rupees and he will make your ticket done. And then he told me that I have a solution. And I asked, what is solution? You give me 100 rupees. And TTE did not come after Dibrugarh, did not check any ticket after Dibrugarh. I will tell him that you entered the train in Dimapur, 1 station or 2 stations after that. Then we can make a settlement. I will tell the TTE that you entered in Dimapur. You also tell the same thing. We can settle in 100 rupees. Now you tell me whether I should pay 5,000 rupees to Indian Railway and confirm my ticket, or I should pay a bigger corruption of 2,000 rupees to the TTE, or I should go by 100 rupees. What your ethics tells. That is why the law should be, and the law should be supporting the people. And in India, although we are a democracy, large number of unnecessary laws are there. And if I have booked the ticket from Dibrugarh to Delhi, let my seat be there. I have already paid the money. Why my seat will be automatically cancelled after 2-3? This is the British era law, and the British and the whatever the British mindset, and the government should never continue to the people. Such situations, sometimes people will be forced to be corrupt. Being a student, 5,000 was an unimaginable amount for me. 2,000 was also a big amount for me. 100 rupees was affordable corruption for a person. Then people will prefer the affordable corruption when the law is not supporting the people. Then determinants of ethics is that ethics will be determined what the law of the nation is. The law should be every time supporting the people, and the law should be giving the recognition for the people. Law should never be harming the people. The citizens and users of public service and individual attributes of the public servant, like ethical decision-making skill, mental attitude, virtues, and professional values. Everything depends. What is the mental attitude of a officer? If an officer has caste inside his mind, that will be shown. If an officer is a communal inside his mind, he will show that when some applications are coming, some people are coming in front of him. If the officer has a patriarchy inside his mind, then we should install in the minds of the officers with all good thoughts and positive qualities. Now, ethical issues in Indian civil service, we can discuss after the break. By 6:05, you can come back. After that, we will